Should I made up my mind?
So I think it's evident that I love cameras, and not just for rigging or having to show off which camera you've got or which camera is the best. I just love cameras for what they allow you to do. They allow you to bring stories to life, music, you can bring journeys or even trials and tribulations. Cameras are just like a window into the soul of so many people, and done right, you can get some amazing stuff. Now, one of the main things that bugs me is rigging, because there's so many different parts out there, and as a person that owns multiple cameras, rigging is just hard. You have to have so many different parts, so many handles and different bits that just fit, you know? So this led me down the road to solving my rigging journey. I want to have one rig that is easy to set up and to break down. So whether I want to transition from gimbal to handheld to tripod, I want something that is super simple. And not only that, I want it to fit multiple different camera bodies. And as you would have seen in the intro, I came up with this, which I call the lightning rig. It's very cheap, very affordable. There's very little parts on here. You do have to get your hands dirty a little bit, but once you build one of these, you're gonna realize how easy rigging can be. So we're gonna have a look at the parts which I use, and we're gonna go into a build. And I'm gonna show you in the end how I use it on a ZR and on a Sony FX30 or FX3. So that means this should be adaptable to most other cameras that are out there. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so let's get started with the ZR build. Now, first of all, so we've got this little small rig adapter here, this little plate, and this is amazing for monitors, wireless transmitters, all sorts of stuff, and it's very strong. It comes with this little runner, which has the locating pins inside. We don't need the locating pins or this little runner, so we're gonna take that out. Then we're gonna take our small rig V-mount plate here. This is just a mini V-mount plate, cheaper one, and we're gonna start building this together. So the first thing we wanna do is we're gonna have it this way. So yeah, that's the top there. So we wanna attach this to the long side of the mount here, okay? And to do that, we're going to get a 1/4 screw. We're just gonna run it through the middle here. Yeah, so you can see that like that. Put this through the hole here. And then we're gonna add one of these little tightening plate things, what you get on mini Magic Arms. I suspect that a lot of you have got one of these already. Okay, so we just screw this off and then we end up with one of these. And then we're gonna use that to tighten up this screw here. Now again, this is only the way I did it, building it from spares. You might have a different way, a better way of locking this down, but I'm just gonna put this in here for the meantime. This V-mount plate also has M6 holes all around it, and we want to put a M6 screw through here into the hole. And what this is going to do, once we tighten this up, it's going to allow us to lock it down so everything is really tight. Double screw, can't twist. So now you can see we've got a little tiny gap at the bottom there, and this little plate thing, this little tightening plate, fits right inside. Perfect size for the mount. And now you can see that that's not going nowhere, absolutely rock solid. Then this little 3D printed cap, which I'm going to put the STL in, that will just screw onto the back here. And this is like your little bumper. Now, technically you don't really need this, but it's going to give you protection on your cage, so you can close it down straight and it won't hit your screen or damage your cage as well. In the back of the handle, you can see I've got a spacer for a 3/8 to 1/4. You're gonna need 2 of these, okay? So make sure you get 2 of these. I'll show you what the top one is for. For the ZR, we don't need it. So we're just gonna have a bare screw here. And then for the screws to attach it to our NATO clamp, this one here, we need one shorter one at the front and one slightly longer one at the back. And again, I'm gonna list all of these in the document. So we need to put a 3/8 to 1/4 adapter in the back of the NATO, and then we're gonna screw these down, okay, onto here. Now, you can adjust it backwards and forwards depending on the size of your camera and where your NATO rail sits, because you do have the adjustment rods here. You don't have to go through here as I've put. And now this is also anti-twist, okay, very strong. Then we're gonna put on the NATO rail at the front, which is going through the thread here. Now, as you can see, this NATO rail is a bit ghetto because they don't really make NATO rails this small. You can get the really small, slim ones, but this still won't fit at the front. Now with the monitor, you can mount it in different positions through a 15mm rod or through the top here, but I wanted mine to sit very low, so I had to make one myself. Now basically, all you have to do is get one of these NATO rails and cut it in like a V shape just here, very simple. Now the reason why you want to cut it in a V shape is because the mount here only has space for one thread, okay? So what we want to do is we want to put this on and we want to use the V shape to jam it up against this wing nut here, okay? So once you tighten this down, this will not be able to move left or right because it's locked in underneath that wing. So let's just tighten this up. And now we've got a NATO rail locked in, okay? And you can still use the wing nut anyway, because you know these wing nuts, they lift and then you can turn, yeah? So you can still use it. It's not, you know, totally void when you want to put a rod in. So for the ZR, we're just going to attach this now to the rear and then we'll tighten it up and that's it. That is it. So simple. A really simple build, very affordable, very cheap, easy to do. And now we can just put the handle straight onto our camera and then tighten it down. So let's get a monitor on here first before I do that, and the battery. There's the monitor, and I'm going to put a link to this mount as well. And then the battery will just go straight on the back here. So simple, so easy. So with the battery side, again, it can't hit the screen. Your screen is fully protected. You can run your DC cable straight from your monitor to your V-mount battery. And then if you want to power your camera, we can just get a small mini USB-C and plug this in, and away you go. And you only need a really short cable because it sits so close. You only need a short cable to do this. Absolutely fantastic. So that was a look at the Nikon ZR with the Lightning rig. And now we're going to look at how to adapt it to other cameras. Okay, so now we've got it on the FX30, you can see there's a couple things which I don't like. One, you can see the battery sits down too low, and you can see that it's going to hit the screen as well. Okay, so let's sort that out now. So to sort out the height adjustment of this, we're going to take this screw off here and move it up one. So now we've moved it up one, you can see that the fitment is much better. And then to sort out this bumper issue, to stop it from hitting the screen, we're going to use this black screw here I've got here, just an old screw, probably paint this black at some point, and just screw that into the back of the NATO rail. You might need to get one desired length for your rig, depending on which camera you have, but just screw that into the back there, and now it acts as a bumper. You can see it hitting just on the end there. Okay, I mean obviously you can get something really neat, a nice neat screw, but that is it. That you can see how easy it is to change. And then from there we can just plug in our cables as normal. I'll leave the same cable as what I was using on the ZR, and away you go. So that's it, that's the Lightning rig for all different types of cameras. It doesn't come much easier than this. You can switch it up, doesn't matter which camera you buy. All of the accessories are able to be used on different rigs and by themselves. But as this works, it is fantastic for rigging quickly. Okay everyone, so that's the end of the video. And before I go, I just want to say that rigging is definitely an art form. What works for one person may not work for another. I've tried to make a rig that can suit so many different cameras and also make my shooting life easier. Now I don't expect you to follow my build one for one. There's so many ways that this can be adapted, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to come up with ideas that are even better than what I've had here. So let me know in the comments if there's any bits I should change or anything I should do differently. I would love to hear them, because if it's going to make my shooting life easier, then I'll be happy for it. So take care guys, and I will see you on the next one. Later.